What disappoints me the most is black men. I'm not even going to talk about Latino men. I'm going to let their people deal with them. But I'm going to talk about black men and how y'all could have made such a big difference in all of this. How even if your state did come out blue, we see those percentage of black men that chose to vote for Trump because y'all got a fucking chip on y'all shoulder. Most of y'all can't do anything without the support of your parent, which is your mother, because 9 out of 10. I'm not going to get into the stereotypes because everybody start chewing me up and shit. But let's be real. That is a thing in our community that our mothers raised us. So what would it have been just for the hell of it to just give us a chance just to fight for us like we have constantly been fighting for y'all cruddy asses?
I got a lot to say, but I'm gonna say this instead because my first video got a community guideline, and we all know how that goes. But black men, thank you for showing up. Baby, when I saw them numbers, I said, I know I can't be seeing what I'm seeing, but I was seeing what I was seeing. Now, we're not done by any means, and there's a lot more ahead of us, but I want to come up here, as much slack as y'all have been getting this year. We know. I want to say thank you. I appreciate you for taking time out your day to consider us, to think about us, to hear us, and to stand with us. I love that. And if nobody has said it to you, I'm so proud that you did.
She did not go get an upstanding black woman to speak to black people. I keep telling you, she did not go get upstanding black women to come talk to upstanding black people. She went and got Glorilla, talk about moose knuckles. She went to go get Cardi B, who cheat on her husband.
Watching Cardi B get that speech is the reason why I'm not going to argue with a lot of y'all on the internet no more. That's the reason why I just be blocking you. Because she represents a lot of y'all. You just be a little slow, right? And that ain't even no shade. You do be a little slow. Like, if we had to read out 2 pages in a book, we could wipe out a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all can't read 2 pages of a book. You read at a 3rd grade level. And that's not even, like, trying to be funny. Like, studies have shown that most Americans can't read at higher than the 3rd grade level. Right? George Bush really did y'all a disservice by not leaving you behind. You should have gotten left behind.
Since y'all wanted this fucking fascist bag so bad, I'm just letting y'all know right now, I ain't supporting no movement. When him and Netanyahu turn Palestine to glass and give y'all a broom to sweep it up, hey, call Jill Stein, call Cornel West. When reproductive rights start getting fucked up all throughout the country and it starts affecting your families, call Trump, call your local senator, call them, because I don't want to hear that shit. When the police start becoming militarized and cop cities start popping up everywhere and you start having issues with the police that turn more violent, where they can beat you and put you in jail and get to act with impunity, hey, take that up with your local senator.
I guess I'll be the first woman to say the internet would never convince me that I am not loved. They would never convince me that black men do not stand up for black women. I don't care what y'all use y'all platform as. I don't care what the fuck the algorithm keep trying to show me. I don't care what goes on in real life. I know who supports me 10 toes down. I know the people that I call on. I know what love feels like because of these people. I know what love looks like because of these people. I know what protection looks like and feels like. I know what security looks like and feels like. You get what I'm saying? Y'all would never convince me. Y'all get on this bitch and y'all talk out y'all ass. Black men love women. They love black women in real life. Not these bitches on the internet. I ain't got time for y'all. I ain't speaking for all y'all. Hey, y'all say don't speak for all men. This is a conversation where I'm not speaking for all men. But the man in my life, you bitches don't never have the power to convince me that shit ain't real.
60% of Latinos. 60% of Latinos. 60 for Trump. 60 for Trump.
Y'all want to know why she lost? I'm going to tell you why she lost. The Democratic Party literally had the worst marketing strategy in history. Like, I saw this loss coming like a mile away. He's racist. He's racist. He's racist. Your candidate is a woman. This country's far more sexist than racist. Far more. So there's that group of people that are just automatically gonna vote the other way. Then you lost the plot completely with black people. I haven't seen pandering this tacky since Hillary Clinton pulled that hot sauce out of her bag. You had Joe Biden on his first campaign talking about if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. Who the fuck? Kamala done turned her freaking rallies into the BET Awards. You got Meg Thee Stallion twerking on stage, Glorilla on stage bleeping out every other word of her song because she can't even rap her actual lyrics. Then completely lost the plot with women. You got pieces swinging around kids' locker rooms and women's locker rooms. People who identified as a man yesterday and identify as a woman today are whooping women's asses in sports.
Y'all failed us. Like, y'all failed us, and I really... Y'all failed us so bad, bro, and I don't want to hear nothing about it. I don't want to hear no complaints. Oh my God, you're crying on the internet. Bro, you do not know how it felt to live with that man as president before, especially as a black woman. You do not know the way they treated us. You do not know. You do not know. You failed us. You failed us. Do you know how many of us have survived rape and sexual assault? And you would elect somebody who did that? Myself included. Like, I'm a fucking survivor and I gotta sit here and watch it. When I tell you, ooh, y'all failed us. Y'all failed us. Y'all failed us.
The family matter and the truth for the matter. It was God's plan to show y'all the liar.
Today, my brother got beat up because he had a Kamala Harris and Tim Walz bumper sticker on the back of his truck. And if he don't take that shit off soon, I'ma beat his ass again.
I know y'all upset. I know y'all frustrated. I get it. But what we not gonna do, we not gonna blame these black men for why she didn't win. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna point the finger at the black men because I know better. See, what happened was a lot of y'all thought y'all had allies in this thing. But what y'all don't understand is when election year comes around, they tell us one thing, but then they show us at them polls. Because one thing they gonna do, baby, they're gonna stick together. And when they said we the people, understand this, we're not the people they was talking about. Those founding fathers don't look anything like us. It just don't. I'm not surprised by anything that happens when it comes to the government and when it comes to politics, because I am a black woman. I've always been a black woman in America, and I know exactly what this system is designed for. It is not designed for me to succeed in this country. Period. I'm sorry. So if you want to make a change, you got to vote on a smaller scale. Make those changes in your community, because on a larger scale, it's not meant for us.
I bet not see not one black woman a part of any feminist movement in this country, because this election just showed you that all the movement is about is protecting the privilege of white women and keeping you from it.
Immediately no. I'm telling you right now, I seen what I needed to see.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Would you look at that? Now, my beautiful black sisters, according to these numbers, despite what Twitter has tried to circulate on the internet, and despite what some of y'all have been following hook, line, and sinker to this entire election season, per usual, black men backed up women in the vote. We had y'all. It was a couple stragglers, but there always are. So, yeah. Y'all are good, though. God bless.
This is the problem. This 12%. This 12% was the problem. This is the deciding factor. Out of all the races who voted Republican, this was the deciding factor with you Negro women of the downfall of this election. We are the problem. Mind you, I don't vote. I have never voted. But just to sit back and watch y'all make complete asses out of yourselves, blaming your counterpart, blaming your opposite for something that 12% could never do.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Good morning, son.
Good morning, monkey.
And I'm going to speak for myself, but I know for a fact I speak for a lot of black men. But I'm going to say I'm going to speak for myself. I was highly disappointed in this campaign and how black men were handled by the Democratic Party. Of course, don't nobody, at least like me, don't want to support someone like Trump. I'm not a hypocrite. Reparations was #1 on my list, so it kind of took Trump really off my list. I was critical of Kamala Harris because the way she just came in, she didn't come in talking about policy. She came in talking about she's black. That was so damn disrespectful, right? But the part that I really didn't like is how they were handling black men and how they were talking to black men. This is a time where, you know, we really could have stuck together. It's just the way that they were talking to us. It's just the way that they were talking to us. It's like, wait a minute. This is how you want us to help you? And we wasn't even the problem. It was white women and it was Hispanics. It wasn't even us.
So this is what we're doing. To my liberal women who voted for Harris, no more kitty cat for moderate men. These are just Republicans pretending to be moderate because they realize that they can't get laid. No more kitty cat for men who didn't vote, and especially no kitty cat for Republicans. We can't even afford to breathe near these men at this point. Number 2, go to Donald Trump's Instagram page and see which of your friends is following him. Remove those friends and block the men.
Y'all know it's so crazy. It's so many eye-opening things to this election. It's actually quite eye-opening to witness. I'm not gonna lie. Like this election was just an election for some people, but for me it was very eye-opening in different aspects. But one of the things that was very eye-opening is I've never ever seen black women have this much grace for a woman that ain't even black, that for an actual black woman. I've never seen black women have this much patience. Kamala went 40 days without her even doing a single interview, without even telling black people what she was going to do for them. 40 days. Let an actual black woman not be leaving her man fast enough for black women, and that woman is being dragged. Let that black woman be your friend and she ain't leaving her man fast enough. You're pissed. Y'all don't have enough grace for y'all friends.
Ladies, if you are now a part of the 4B movement, which is now taking up a lot of space online, we now need to start only having community with each other. Okay? We need to be very selective on who we have community with, but it needs to be exclusively women, or women who identify as women, and women who are male decentered. So women who are not male decentered, you're not a part of you're not going to be a part of the camaraderie.
Well, we lost, guys. I lost. It most definitely hurts to hear that I'm getting separated, but hey, it is what it is.
You voted for a candidate endorsed by the KKK. For the rest of your life, you have to know that you voted the same way as the KKK.
We've lost. Pennsylvania has been called. We've lost. All right, black women, y'all know what we got to do, right? We're done. Like, literally, y'all know what we got to do, right? Y'all know we're done, right? Like, y'all, I hope y'all know we're done. We're not marching, calling, nothing. I don't want to hear about any issue, anything. I don't care. We're done. Enjoy him. Enjoy your 4 years. We're going to just live our best lives, right, girlies?
I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna let it ride. Black women for the next 4 years, we're not coming to nobody's rescue. We not marching on nobody's behalf. We're not doing none of that. We're gonna let it ride. Black men, I'm sorry, we ain't got your back. People of color, I'm sorry, we ain't got your back. Because people of color don't even want to be considered people of color. They want to be accepted so bad. So bad. Even when a man tell y'all that y'all are lesser than, y'all still go vote for him. So look, we're going to let y'all figure this out. When it was time for the country to have our back, y'all said, nah, we're going to let that go. So look, us as black people, it's black women who really be the backbone of a lot of things that go on. We're going to let y'all ride for the next 4 years and y'all figure it out, okay?
Today, I'm side-eyeing everybody. Everybody's racist and stupid. And don't talk to me. For the rest of the year, don't talk to me. Nobody, just don't talk to me.
Kamala Harris did not lose because she was a woman.
She did not lose because she was a quote-unquote black person. She did not lose because America wasn't ready for a woman. No, she did not lose because she did not have the support of black women and black men. She did not lose for none of those reasons. She brought all the bells and all the whistles. She brought out Barack. She brought out Beyonce. She brought out Eminem, Cardi B. She brought out Meg Thee Stallion, collard greens, Timberlands, Converses. She did a chitlin circuit of every black podcast. She did everything. And she still lost. Kamala Harris lost because of Kamala Harris. Because she was unqualified, unfit, and she was a fraud. That's why she lost. Because the people saw through that whole act. They saw through the fake black accents. They saw through all of it. That's why she lost.
80% of black men voted for Kamala Harris. 80%. And that is on the lower end of the percentages. In some battleground state, they were 85, 86%. They outperformed every male demographic. They outperformed white men. They outperformed Asian men. They outperformed Hispanic, Latino men. They even outperformed other. And I just want to say black men showed up when it mattered. We see all this discourse, all this 50-50, black men aren't providers, black men aren't this, black men aren't that, but black men showed up when it mattered in those voting booths. They went out there in droves and cast the right vote. They went out there and did their best to protect the rights of black women, of all women.
Oh, and black women, I bet not catch you marching for nobody in the streets these next 4 years unless it's for another black woman. You better not take that cape off. I know we have a problem with just letting things be. When we see a problem, we got to solve it. We got to help everybody because that's what we have been trained and ingrained to do. Lay down. Rest. Let it burn. Let it go. Stop fighting. Because we put in the work. We've always been on the right side of history. We've been putting in the work since before we were even seen as humans.
Black women, I'm so excited about last night's election results. If you like me, you've already done your crime. That's why I look like this today. But let me get to the good news and why this just shout. Because y'all, for the next 4 years, we get to rest. That's right. I'm going to tell y'all a quick story about the mass deportation that happened here in Nebraska. Then we're going to move on and get to the money. We always get to the money. So his first term, y'all, he did the mass deportations in my state. And y'all know we have more cows than we have people. And so while kids were in school, because they worked the meat processing plants here, the soybeans, the corn, all the ag, because we're ag state. So while the kids were in school, he came and snatched them, y'all. In our state, y'all, we had the big Greyhound light buses. And they shipped them out of here. Now listen, I ain't laughing at him, I'm laughing with him, right? Because it's funny. And anyway, so I got death threats for helping. But guess what? Not again. Sitting it out. So now let's get to the money. So y'all know this qualified immunity is coming. But let me tell y'all black women why that's exciting. So there's this company. I don't give out investment advice. I'm just telling y'all what I invested in. So there's this company, AXON, it's publicly traded. And they provide most in the U.S. police departments. Their body cameras, their tasers. They even have an AI arm of their company where even everything else on the camera, they translate it in real time to do police report. Yeah, let me say this, y'all. It's a well-managed company. It's a very profitable company. And they stocks keep going up. So I ain't saying invest. I'm going to just say that's where I'm hedging my bets because it started next year. And we know what's happening with qualified immunity.
A lot of people seem confused and surprised about how 60% of Latino voters voted for Donald Trump after he's made countless racist and xenophobic remarks against not only Latinos, but also immigrants from other countries. But Afro-Latinos, we're not surprised at all. Racism is alive and well in the Latino culture with things like mejorar la raza, which means to better the race, which is like street eugenics. Calling your family members based on their skin tone like negro, negrita as a loving term, but it's obviously derogatory because the anti-blackness is so prevalent. And the craziest part, if we were able to break down the Afro-Latino votes from the white and mixed Latinos, we'd probably see that Afro-Latinos inflated the Harris support from Latinos.
This a PSA to every black woman that raised that money for Kamala. You raised $40 million in one fucking night for a campaign for concerts and fucking speeches. You are dumb. You think I'm about to vote with y'all? You spent $40 million on concerts.